Schilling. We are good to go at the holding pen, and we're just waiting for our judge to get back real quick, and we'll get going. We would like to thank our buckle sponsors today. Senior buckle is donated by A2O Automations. The intermediate buckle is sponsored by Laramie County Conservation District, and the junior buckle is K's Trailer Parts and Sales. If you see those donors around, please give them a huge thank you. In the ring now is our 4-H senior breeding meat goat showmanship. Our next class will be 4-H intermediate breeding meat goat showmanship. We're looking for Callie Burr, Devin Graham, Mariah Schilling, and Kale Britton. Please be making your way over to check in with Mr. Allen at the southeast corner of the show ring. Caliber, if you plan on showing in the 4-H Intermediate Breeding Meet Goat Showmanship, please check in at the gate as soon as possible.
Well, good afternoon. If you're just joining us today, we get started on the Breeding Goat Show and our senior showmanship. A good set all the way through, and it's all the way down to our sixth place. I think we've got an outstanding group of young people out here to discuss. And I've had these three right here. I've had them swap several times, and I just tell you what I saw. The young lady that's going to lead us off is one that very calm and relaxed and easygoing with that doe. And I think that when she gets her presented there, she looks really sharp. Again, very smooth. Her and that doe work together very well. And so I think that's kind of what slid her on up in there. This young lady that's in 2, I really like a lot of things about. There, towards the end there, that one kind of wanted to move a little bit, kind of wanted to come sideways just a hair, and I sure hate to sort somebody out for that. When the quality is good, we got to find it somewhere, because I think that it's very close with all these three, especially these 3 young ladies. I think could win a showmanship anywhere, and so I'd be proud of that. I was real impressed with this one's discussion of her feeding program and different things that she's doing with this particular doe. So to me, there's a lot to go into that. So good top trio here in showmanship. These young ladies have done an outstanding job. This young man had a struggle coming next with this one. I think this one didn't want to go for him. Once he got her presented, he kind of worked his way on up in there. But a great job with that. The same with these 2 young men that conclude the goats maybe not want to cooperate quite as good, or maybe we didn't get them presented quite as quick. So good set of senior showmen as we get started. Give them a round of applause if you can.
Congratulations to our 4-H senior breeding meat goat exhibitors. First place is Callie Rosner. Her buckle today was sponsored by A2O Automations. Second, and your reserve champion is Blair Sanchez. Third is Adeline Schilling. Fourth, Anthony Quick. Fifth, Cooper Sanchez. And sixth, Ryan Fairherm. We'll move into our intermediate breeding meat goat showmanship. We're looking for Devin Graham, Mariah Schilling, and Cale Breton. Following our intermediates, we will move to our juniors. We're looking for Grace Baumgartner, Riley Edling, Ryder Munoz, Druss Ratcliffe, McKenna Schilling, and Taylor Schuler. If you'll please make your way to the southeast corner of the show arena and check in with Mr. Allen. Following our juniors, we will have a Pee-wee showmanship. So if you have a kiddo that's under 8 that wants to show a goat, you can sign them up at the announcer's stand. If you're just joining us today, our judge is Shane Jennings from Danbury, Texas. Shane received his bachelor's in animal science from Sam Houston State University, as well as a master's in agriculture. He participated on the collegiate livestock judging team at Blinn as well as at Sam Houston State University. Shane now resides in Danbury, Texas, with his wife Jessie, son Connor, and daughter Cameron, and they enjoy judging shows across the nation as well as traveling to shows with the family. Please give Shane a warm Laramie County welcome.
A trio of young ladies come out here for our intermediate showman. A young lady in the middle is going to be our champion. I think it's close between all three, and I think she's one that's real intense when she comes in, and she gets that one set and presented very well. Very knowledgeable about this doe, and so congratulations to her. Same with the young lady that was reserved. I think we've got one there that's a special relationship between these two, as she told me, and you can tell they work together very well. Maybe didn't quite have her 100% set there at the end, but again, being critical on some good showmen here. So, and the young lady that concludes, not to take anything away from her. Maybe we didn't get them set quite as fast as the others. Maybe weren't as intense as we come around the ring. All three did an outstanding job. Give them a good round of applause if you would.
Ryder Munoz and Taylor Schuler, if you plan on showing in the junior breeding meat goat showmanship, please be making your way now. .4-H intermediate breeding meat goat showmanship, congratulations to Devin Graham as your champion showman. They will receive a buckle sponsored by Laramie County Conservation District. Your reserve champion is Kale Breton, and third is Mariah Schilling. Congratulations. If you plan on showing in the Pee Wee Showmanship, please head over to the southeast corner of the arena and check in with Mr. Allen. I'm showing 3 entries: Taylor, Arlo, and Zane.
Great set of juniors out here. We're going to leave them as they stand. The young lady's going to lead off the drive for me. Just real good in her presentation as she comes around the ring. Her and that doe work together very well. She's very knowledgeable about that particular female, and just a good team to come out here, and it just kind of all clicked for her today. Young lady's going to be in second. You can tell she works with this one, and maybe didn't quite want to lead around as good and smooth, but and we talked about that over there in our conversation. But again, very good in her presentation. She has that head up. She has her setup good. So good job with that. As she says, she wants to work more at home to help her kind of lead a little better, and maybe that's kind of what sorted her down. So good congratulations. We're going to do a pair of young folks that do a great job. This one as well says she wants her goat lead better and to brace better, and we're going to work on that, and maybe that's what we need to do out here as well. When you get her presented, she's a little turned sideways, not quite as square as the others, maybe not quite as fast, and so that's something to work on. But great job. She did an outstanding job getting that one presented, very, very well-mannered, very knowledgeable about that particular doe. Same with the young man. He did a great job out here. Maybe just didn't keep her quite set up as much and as long, but man, he sure works with that one, and you can tell that he works hard with it. So congratulations, good set of juniors.
Congratulations, junior breeding meat goat exhibitors. Champion junior meat goat showman is Riley Edling. Her buckle is donated by Kay's Trailer Parts and Sales. Reserve is Grace Baumgartner. Third, McKenna Schelling. And fourth, Dress Ratcliffe. Our next class in the ring will be our Pee Wee showmanship. I'm showing 3 entries, there may be more. Taylor, Arlo, and Zane. Following our Pee Wees will be the junior does under 1 year. Kids, listen up. In the first heat, we're going to have Callie Rosner, Blair Sanchez, Taylor Schuler, Grace Baumgartner, Anthony Quick, Devin Graham, McKenna Schilling, Adeline Schilling, Kale Breton with 2, and Riley Edling. So if you heard your name for Heat 1, go ahead and check in with Mr. Allen at the gate.
Well, a great group of peewees. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about parents that don't like George Strait or Dwight Yoakam, and they're having fun, and might be a little scared, but they wasn't going to talk on the microphone. But we're having a good time out here. That's what it's all about. So give them a good round of applause. I think they've all done such a great job. We got a prize for each one of them.
Great job, Pee Wee Showman. Our next class will be the Junior Doe under 1 year. Heat A. All right, we're ready for Group A. Group B, we're looking for Cooper Sanchez, Dress Ratliff, Riley Edling, Callie Rosner, Mariah Schilling, Adeline Schilling, Ryder Munoz, Kale Brenton with 2, and Riley Edling with a 2nd.
Okay, since we had this class sorted into heats, we're going to keep these 5 that I pulled out and let excuse the ones on the rail as they go back to the barn. We'll bring these back in. Just to talk them briefly, maybe some of those that didn't quite have the width and power to mention as these others do. This young lady's here has one that I thought was pretty green in her makeup, but other than that, I think we've got the right parts and pieces in that particular one. I think that's a good balance kind of a doe. I think it's got some muscularity to there. Again, very green in her makeup comparatively. Again, another green one there. It's got some length to side and some balance. I'd like to power that one up just a little, especially in the lower part of her leg. We got another green one coming next that just needs to balance up just a bit better for me, stouten up throughout, but a nice little doe as well. And I think this one was on the cusp of getting on this side of the ring, maybe one that's not quite as extended as the other 2 out here. I really like the power. I like the balance in that one. I like the foot size. Again, maybe just a bit more conventional in her type and kind as we get on these others over here, but a good belted one there as well. So give them a good round of applause. We'll get these back out here in the final heat.
All right, Group B, Cooper Sanchez, Dress Ratliff, Riley Edling, Mariah Schilling, Adeline Schilling, Ryder Munoz, Kale Breton with 2, and Riley Edling. All right, exhibitors from Group A. We need Callie Rosnerbeck, Blair Sanchez, Grace Baumgartner, Devin Graham, and Riley Edling.
Again, we're going to bring these 5 back in conjunction with the other 5 to finish the final drive. But to talk these briefly, just really green, they're kind. The one that leads off up there, this is a young doe that I think just gets a bit plainer and flatter. As you look at her leg there, not quite as much attractive look from the side, but young man does a great job presenting her. I like this painted up one from the side quite a bit. I really like how she gets her neck out of the top of her shoulder there, big middle in that one. Maybe this gives up some power from behind, but I really like that one in terms of her look from the side. And this young one that is not having a very good day, but she's certainly got some, she's very green, got lots of good parts in her, and I think when she catches up, I think she'll kind of be on this side as well in terms of just her build, her type, and her kind, just very green in her kind. So again, we'll get these others out here with these other 5, and we'll have a class to go through.
Coming back from Heat B, Cooper Sanchez, Callie Rosner, Mariah Schilling, Adeline Schilling, and Riley Edling. Our next class will be the yearling doe over 1 year and under 2. We're looking for Kale Breton, Mariah Schilling, Cooper Sanchez with 2, Kale Breton, Ryan Farraham, Blair Sanchez, Ryan Farraham with 2, and Blair Sanchez.
Give this class a good round of applause if you would. I think there's lots of quality differences in these does, and just kind of how I land. I'll tell you, I land on this young lady's doe to lead off. I just think awfully complete female here with this one. Is she the stoutest one out here? No, but I think that one's awfully complete. You study her from the side in terms of her balance, the symmetry she offers you, how robust she is in terms of her rib shape, still very maternal. And outside of those things, this is a big-chested, big-middled, big-ended doe, and I think it's really sound as she goes around the ring. I think there's a lot of neat things about her as a breeding piece, and that's why I land on her. Then we got some really stout ones that come next, and I was going back and forth between these two here, between 2 and 3, and I tell you how I land. I think as we get this one presented, she's a little neater in her top line, a little more level, not quite as long and extended maybe as the one that beats her, but I like this little doe quite a bit in terms of the width and the power and dimension she has. She's sure big-ended. Is she as long-sighted maybe as some others out here? Maybe not. But, man, she needs to be in the top pair just sure on power and look from that standpoint. And I like this little wide-belted one that comes next. This red and white one, for me, is just really neat in her lines and really neat in her look. She's got some power and dimension. She's big-footed. Maybe just gets a bit more conventional in her hip there as we study her. And I don't know if it's an illusion from that red coming a little further back into her middle, but that's an awfully good little doe, in my opinion, compared to the ones that we have out here. And this one that comes next in terms of power, I really like that about her. She gets a little too sloped out of her hip for me. I'd like to level her up out of her rump, extend her a little bit, but man, tons of power in this one. She's big-chested as any of them, and certainly big-ended, and I really like the feet and legs under that one as well. Again, just want to level her out. And I think this one that comes next, it's a little green in her kind. I'd like to lengthen that one up in terms of her body length, but outside of that, I think this one's got some parts and pieces that I really like. She's big-chested, she's big-backed, she's certainly got some end to her, and with that, though, I think this female's got some turn to that rib and going to be productive, so I think that's a good set there to go through. We got one that comes next, another long-sided one that just gives up some power. We can make them pretty all day long if we don't, at the end of the day, we're breeding meat goats, so we need some power in them as well, and that's where this one kind of falls down. I think she gets a little more one-dimensional. I like her build. I like her feet and legs. I like the stuff that she offers you. Just like to stouten her up just a bit compared to those ones that beat her. The black-headed goat comes next. Beautiful from the side in terms of balance. Again, one of those that just gets a bit more one-dimensional. I'd like to make her more three-dimensional through her lower body cavity, stouten her up from behind. Then we get into a trio of goats. They're just they're goats that aren't balanced as good, maybe not quite as powerful as those ahead of them, but good set of goats in terms of length of side and substance. Give them a good round of applause, if you would, as they exit the ring.
Congratulations. The 2023 champion junior doe is exhibited by Riley Edling, and the reserve junior doe is exhibited by Callie Rossner. In third, Grace Baumgardner. Fourth is Callie Rossner, and fifth is exhibited by Blair Sanchez. Good job, kids. Our next class is the yearling doe, over 1 year and under 2. We need Kale Breton with 3, Mariah Schilling, Cooper Sanchez with 2, Ryan Farraham with 3, and Blair Sanchez with 2. Our next class will be the senior does, over 2 years. We've got 2 from Kale, 2 from Anthony, another one from Kale, Ryan Fairherm with 2, and Adeline Schilling. Please check in at the gate.
Nice class to work through here in the next one. Lots of difference in these females. I land on this one in front of me here, just awfully complete, much like our class winner in the class previous. I really like that one in terms of her design, how tall-shouldered she is. She gets that old neck out of the top of her shoulder really well. I think that's a big middle doe as well that balances really well. And I think with all of that, I think she's really level out of that rump and still has some power to her as well, and I really appreciate that. I think the one in second follows most like her in terms of type and kind, in terms of power and width. Yeah, she may not be as long-bodied, but boy, she's certainly big-middled. She's stout-ended and got a nice look. So I think it's a good close pair. The black-headed one is a lot like our class winner in terms of the side. She's big-middled, very maternal. She gets a little steeper rump, maybe gets a little plainer as you study her from behind, a little flatter and plainer in her bone work. But boy, from the side, that's a big-middled, good balanced one that's got some good look to her as well. So congratulations on a nice one. The next one that comes is we follow in type and kind with this red one. I think she's a big middled one, maybe that just gives up some extra look, an extension compared to those ones that beat her, but she needs to be up in towards the top end just on power and dimension. Same with this one that comes next. Gets a little lower in her neck. I like the attach her a little higher out of that shoulder, but from beyond that, here's a big-footed, big-middled one that needs to be up here from that standpoint. It's got tons of width to her. Again, I like to get that old neck up, give her a little bit more look. Comparatively. We come next to the young man that's got some foot and bone. He's got a powerful one that just gets a bit shorter sighted, if you will. Maybe not quite as attractive up front, but a nice big body one and big footed as well. And then the darker colored one here, boy, she's opened up. That one just gets a bit steeper out of her rump compared to the other ones out here. Then we conclude with some that just get a bit flatter, a bit narrower as we study them on down throughout. I'd like to open them up a little more three-dimensional shape to get any higher in this class. But a good class to work through. Congratulations.
Congratulations. This year's champion yearling doe is exhibited by Ryan Fairherm, and the reserve yearling doe is exhibited by Blair Sanchez. Third goes to Ryan Fairherm. Fourth is Ryan Fairherm. Fifth, Cale Breton. Sixth, Blair Sanchez. Seventh, Cooper Sanchez. Eighth, Cale Breton. Ninth, Cooper Sanchez. And 10th, Cale Breton. Our next class will be the senior doe over 2 years old. We're looking for 3 from Cale Breton, 2 from Anthony Quick, 2 from Ryan, and 1 from Adeline Schilling. Riley Edling, Callie Rosner, Ryan Fairherm, and Blair Sanchez, please keep your champion and reserve champion does ready for the Supreme Champion Doe. Our next class in the ring will be the best pair of does. Most of these kids are in the ring now, but Ryan Fairherm, Cale Breton, Adeline Schilling, Cooper Sanchez, Callie Rosner, Anthony Quick, Blair Sanchez, and Riley Edling. Okay, just kidding. We're going to pick the Supreme Champion Doe. So we will need back Riley Edling with your Champion Doe, Reserve Junior Doe, exhibited by Callie Rosner, the Champion Yearling Doe, exhibited by Ryan Fairherm, and the Reserve Champion Yearling Doe, exhibited by Blair Sanchez, and the Champion and Reserve Senior Does out of this class. receive 3 vehicles moved from the east end of the barn: a silver Lincoln County 2, license plate 554, a green Subaru Accent County 2, license plate 3728B, and a tan Buick Country, license plate 2-28469. Please move your vehicles immediately.
We get into this senior doe class. Lots of differences to go through, and again, in this top pair, I'm going to leave them as a stand, but they could, I've got them swapped a couple different ways, and I tell you how I see them. To me, I think the one I lead off with is just a bit leaner underneath. I think we got a pair of big-chested, big-bodied females that I think are balanced and got some power to them. I really like their feet and legs at the ground. For me, the one that leads off is just a bit leaner underneath. There's about a half a year's difference in age in these two females, but I think there's a good difference in those from that standpoint. The one in second, I really like that one's design. I really like how up-headed she is. I really like the balance that she has. Again, I'd like to lean her up underneath. But man, she's big-chested, she's stout-ended. Not as fresh maybe as the one in front of her in terms of her condition, but again, that's a good pair of females in my opinion. Follow most like them in terms of type and kinds. This young lady in third, she's one I think is a big middled one that certainly got some power. This gives up some look compared to the pair in front of them. We come next with this one I thought needed to kind of rise up. Love the foot and bone in this one. I love the width and dimension that this one offers you. Maybe not as maternal in this one's middle. I'd like to soften that up, but man, she needs to come up to the top end just on sheer power and width and dimension. Come next with one I think it's got some depth to her. We really appreciate that. I think we've got one that has got a nice feet and legs under it. Not quite as high in her neck attachment maybe as others, but, just a nice kind of a goat. Yeah, you want to make comment on those back 2/4 of a rudder there, maybe make them a little better. But I didn't take off for that. I'd sure like to just make her a little more attractive, but I really appreciate the power and dimension in that one. Then we get into a pair of females that I think just need a little more foot and bone underneath them. I like both of these does' design. I really like how up-headed and attractive this one is, how big-middled she is. I just think she needs to be pulled apart and just given a little bit more substance compared to this class. Same with the older one that concludes. Like her design, just needs a little bit more substance underneath her. But a good class to work through. Congratulate them if you will.
Congratulations to the 2023 champion senior doe is exhibited by Adeline Schilling. The reserve senior doe is exhibited by Cale Breton. We will need both of your does back for the supreme champion doe. In third in the senior doe class was Cale Breton. Fourth, Anthony Quick. Fifth, Anthony Quick. Sixth, Cale Breton. And seventh, Ryan Fairherm. Congratulations, exhibitors. We will now have our supreme champion doe.
get out here for our Supreme Doe Championship drive. I think we've got 6 females out here that all well represented in their particular age group. We started in the junior category there, and I think we've got a really nice pair. I really liked how maternal this one was that wins. I really like her design, her build, how maternal she is in terms of her rib shape and how soft she is, and still has tons of power to go along with it. The doe that was reserved there, I thought was really powerhouse. Maybe a bit more conventional in her type and kind, but boy, she's got tons of power and tons of dimension in that one. So a good pair. Same with this class winner here. I thought real attractive, real maternal female. Again, that when he gets her parked there, boy, she gives you a nice look, and and again, just one that's got some width and dimension to her, and I think just an awfully nice female. As you compare her to maybe the one in front of her, maybe she gets a little lazy in her back, but just being critical, and I think a good built, good type and kind. We come in the older division, the over 2-year-olds. We've got one that I thought was a little fresher in her appearance. She's certainly a nice, attractive one, but here's one that's got some power and dimension to her. And that reserve I thought was really good in her design, just maybe a little past her point, not quite as fresh in her overall appearance, but man, type and kind-wise, I like that one from a balance perspective, the rib, the middle that she has in terms of her rib and the extra look. So good breeding doe show, in my opinion. There's a pair that I like quite well. Give them a round of applause. I'll go show you a couple of my favorite ones.
Congratulations, the 2023 champion doe breeding meat doe is exhibited by Riley Edling, and the reserve is exhibited by Ryan Farraherm. Our next class, that goldfish still just stopped. Our next class will be the best pair of does, any age, owned by one exhibitor: Ryan Farraherm, Cale Breton, Adeline Schilling, Cooper Sanchez, Callie Rosner, Anthony Quick, Blair Sanchez, and Riley Edling.
several entries out here for our best pair. I get to pick a supreme best pair of goat out here, I guess from the exhibitors, but they've all done a great job out here. We've got a pair of them that, for me, that are a little closer in type and kind than some others. Lots of good ones out here, but that maybe their partner isn't as up to par or isn't as close in terms of quality as the other. I think there's a pair out here that real similar in their type and kind, real similar in terms of quality. That's this pair right here in front of me. They're going to be your champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Callie Rosner, on your Supreme Champion pair of does. Our next class will be Junior Buck Kids under 1 year. We're looking for Ryan Farraham with 3, and Riley Edling and Adeline Schilling. Please make your way to the southeast corner of the show ring to check in.
we get into the buck division in this younger class. I think there's a good top pair here. Again, I've had both of these winning the class either times, and so I kind of land on this this cool colored one here, in my opinion, that for me, I think he's just a little more complete. A little more performance in him. He's got some rib shape to him, some power. Big-footed guy. I think it's got a nice look from the side. I really like this one on the go. When she gets him going around the ring, well, he's stout. He gives you a nice look. I read him perhaps a little shorter-sided comparatively. But boy, he's got some power, some foot and bone underneath him. So a good pair there. One that comes next in terms of growth and performance, he just gives up some power and dimension in this particular lineup. Same with the one that comes next. Real up-headed, tall-shouldered one. Just needs more power. And this one certainly got a big chest in him. He's just the greener one of the group. Kind of gets out-horsed and out-massed by the ones ahead of him. But I think when he catches them, I think that's going to be an awfully nice little buck prospect too. So congratulations on a good class.
Congratulations. Congratulations. First place is Riley Edling. Second, Adeline Schilling. Third, Ryan Fairham. Fourth, Ryan Fairham. And fifth, Ryan Fairham. Our next class will be at the yearling buck kids, over 1 year, under 2 years. Single entry, Ryan Fairham.
Awfully good belted one that I think could use some competition here. Sure got a nice look from the side in terms of his neck extension there. I think from there back, I think we've got a big middle stout-ended one that, again, could use some competition. So congratulations. We'll get him back out here in the champion drive here in a moment.
Congratulations, Ryan Fairham, on your first place yearling buck. We will now bring your junior buck back for a selection of the champion breeding meat goat buck. We are looking for Riley Edling and Adeline Schilling and Ryan Fairham.
So we get these three out here for our Supreme Buck. I think we've the first division. We got a pair there I thought were close in terms of type and kind. The one that I chose to go with was one that was a little more extended. He's got some power and dimension in him. He's certainly got a nice look. The one that was second in class there, got plenty of power, got plenty of shape. Maybe gets a little shorter sided, maybe a little steeper rumped, but I think another one that when she got him on the go, boy, he gives you a nice look. This single entry I thought was real attractive. He's one of those that's got a nice line in him. He's got some power and dimension as well, big middle in him, so I think an awfully nice prospect out here as well. So I like the younger one to be champion. The black and white one will be reserve grand. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Riley Edling, on your Supreme Champion Buck, and Ryan Fairherm on the reserve. Our next class and our final class will be the best pair of bucks. We have a single entry by Ryan Fairherm.
Well, this is my last chance on the mic, so I just wanted to thank the folks here at the Laramie County Fair for having me, and it's been a fun couple of days, as I said earlier, to come from Texas and get a little cooler weather. Staff second to none. I appreciate all the help and support. It's been great. We've had a great show today. It's been a long day, but we've had some great livestock and even better kiddos, so that's what it's all about. We end on a good note here with our best pair of the bucks. I think this young man's got a good pair, very consistent in their type and kind. I think we've got a good pair that are big-footed, got some muscularity to them. Young prospects, I think, are going to make good bucks. So congratulate him on a good pair. Again, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Congratulations, Ryan Fairherm, on your champion senior bucks pair. That concludes our shows for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m.